Hi everybody, this is Lisa, and it's time again for another Verbling class. In this class, we're going to be doing some reading, and I have posted the link to the Google document in the Verbling chat. And so if you are interested in checking out the reading, you can click on the link and it will open up a new window for you with the document, and you should be able to see it. I do see that Maria has said that it's empty, but I just clicked on it and it's working for me, and I see that other people are viewing it as well, so hopefully it's working okay for everybody. If you have a reservation or you would like one, you click on that blue button. I think it might be over there. Otherwise, you can wait until the green Join Class button appears. That happens after the first 2 minutes or so of the class. Here at Verbling, we offer free classes all day, all night. So if you really need to improve your English or you just enjoy it, then you can take classes at any time that works for you. We have usually 2 or 3 teachers now teaching English classes. We also have Spanish classes. Hi there, Ayana? Loana? Is it Ayana? Hi there. I can't hear you, so maybe your microphone is muted, or maybe it hasn't loaded all the way yet. Sometimes when you join, it takes a little bit for the Google Hangouts to load everything. Sometimes I see you before it works. So if you're looking for your microphone to see if it's muted, just go up above the Verbling chat box, and if it's red, then I can't hear you. So check it out there. So hi everybody, welcome to class. I see people have found the green Join Class button, and if you would like to come and join this reading class, I think we might be full. When we are full, what happens then is a couple of things for the reading class. One, you can always just follow along with us, because I'm going to put the article up in my video camera, so my screen share is what it's called, so people will be able to read it as we are reading it. In the class, the way I do it is that I choose an article. I have lots of different sources that I like to choose. I typically like to choose real articles, articles that a native English speaker or an intermediate or advanced English learner would enjoy or find interesting. So they're not necessarily easy. They're intermediate, sometimes more towards advanced, but that depends, because sometimes even if you're reading something that's a little bit difficult, if you have background knowledge in your own language, then sometimes just reading an article in English about the same thing that you already know about helps, makes it easier, even if the vocabulary is a little bit more difficult. So that's always a good trick when you're learning your English and practicing your English, is to maybe read something in Vietnamese or Spanish or Swedish or something like that, and then read a similar article in English, so that you already basically know what it's talking about, and then that helps you understand the article better. In this case, I chose an article from another blog of an author that I like, and I've used several of his blog posts or articles, and I put them in a Google document so that we can all access them and read along. This particular one is called When's the Most Important Time to Practice, Not When You Think, and I'm going to put that up here in a minute, but usually, okay, hold on. Usually I'm going to just put it up in the screen share. I was getting confused here because I was trying to figure out what's going on in the Verbling chat. Oh, yeah. Okay, Furkan, I forgot to go make your corrections. All right, I'll do that after this. All right, let's just start with introductions. just so we can know who's here in our class and who's going to be reading. I also like to do introductions just to make sure that your microphone is working. If you're new to Verbling, it's usually a good idea to have your microphone off while I'm talking or while somebody else is talking, just so we don't hear any background noise. Sometimes you'll get muted maybe if somebody hears it and it's making it difficult for them to hear other people. The way you check that is to look above the Verbling chat. If your microphone icon is red, then it should be up there, then it is muted, which muted means it's off, and it means I can't hear you. So let's introduce ourselves. Okay. Yes, my skin is very red, tan, back from the desert. Okay, Aichu, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great, wonderful. And where are you from?
I'm from Montreal, Canada.
From Montreal, okay. Montreal, okay,
Yeah.
Wonderful. Awesome. Pretty close. I live in Washington State, so
Not
on
so
the
far.
other side, yeah, not so
Yeah.
far. Okay, Drek873. Are you there?
Yes, teacher. Here.
Hi. Drek, what's your name?
My name is Miguel.
Miguel, okay.
I'm from Mexico.
And you're from Mexico. Okay, wonderful. And Hamid,
Yes.
the chemist who gets to go on an awesome vacation / business trip soon.
Yes. And can I ask another chemical joke?
Okay. Go ahead.
I put the Verbling chat box.
What is the name of 007's Eskimo cousin? Uh-oh, 007. It's some kind of chemical formula, probably. I don't know.
No, just focus on 007.
Oh, 007. And he's below 7?
The answer is polar bond.
Polar bond. Good.
Yes.
Where are you finding those on some website or something, or?
Yes.
Cool. That reminds me, I just spent the last week in the desert floating down a river with my daughter's class. And one of the funnest things that the students did, they were like 9, 10, and 11-year-old boys and girls. They liked to do jokes and riddles and sing some songs. So maybe I'll try to remember some and tell them to some of you sometime. I don't know when.
I saw your pictures from Facebook.
Oh, you saw some of the pictures? Yeah, it was fun. Yes, and that's why my face is red. It's also, you probably can't see it, but my hands are kind of red and dry because in Utah, that's where we were, it was very windy and cold. Even though it was very sunny, that's called Desert Spring down there, I guess. It was very chilly. So, yep.
And Lisa, maybe you can go to the solarium.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, Jose, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. And you?
Okay, I'm doing well, thank you. Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Costa Rica,
Okay, great. What part of Costa Rica?
San Jose, the capital.
The capital. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before. That's a very nice country.
Yes.
Yes.
What city have you visited?
San Jose and San Isidro del General, and went to the Cloud Forest, Monteverde, and on the Pacific side of the ocean, some towns there. I think
Okay,
we
good.
went to the east side too, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay,
It was a long time ago, though.
okay.
Yeah. Mustafa, how are you?
I am good, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And tell everybody where you are.
I am from Iraq, but now I stay in India.
Oh, in India. Okay.
Yes, because I want to study master.
In what topic? What subject?
Subject commerce or financial accounting.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
All right, great, wonderful. Hi, Tan. How are you doing? Back again.
Doing well.
You're doing well. You
Yes.
sound very relaxed.
I'm on my bed.
We can't see you. Okay, good. Tell everybody where you are. And besides in your bed. What country are you in? I know what country you're in.
I'm from Thailand.
You're from I thought you were from Uzbekistan. Tan is from Vietnam and he's a joker. All right. We enjoy Tan. Tatiana, how are you?
Hello everyone, I'm fine, thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Okay, what part?
Currently I live in Moscow, but originally I'm from Volgograd.
Okay. So how do you like Moscow?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah? How many people live in Moscow?
Oh, several millions, I think.
Yeah.
Currently I don't know exactly.
And how's the spring there? Do you have any more snow or is it getting warmer?
Well, it was really cold some days ago, but for now it's really nice.
Good.
Well, it's like on Friday, for example, it was about 21 degree plus 21.
Celsius. That's nice.
Too hot.
Too hot. Too cold or too hot?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yassine, how are you?
Thanks, teacher. I'm really good. And what about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I'm from Turkey. And
Oh yeah, tell us what part of Turkey. I'm learning a little bit more about Turkey because I have so many students from Turkey.
oh, that is nice.
Yes.
In fact, I'm from Tekirdağ. Tekirdağ is near to Istanbul. Are you know
Okay.
Istanbul?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm living in Ankara.
Oh, in Ankara.
Capital city in Turkey.
Okay, I forget on the map. Is Ankara on the east or west side?
Not east. In the middle
In
Turkey.
the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the middle of Turkey.
The east part of Turkey is more farms and stuff. Is that right?
More farms.
Like countryside, not so much big cities. Do you know what I mean?
Which part?
The east side of Turkey, the eastern part, like to the east of Istanbul.
Istanbul is a very big city, and in Europe, because Europe part is really improved.
Oh, implode. Yeah. Got bigger. Yeah.
And about 50 or 60 million people living in Istanbul.
Really?
16, no 60.
16, sorry, 16. Sorry, Lisa.
I was
Turkish,
shocked.
Turkish population is also 75 million.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty big. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Okay, and Yangsini, are you there?
Hi.
Hi. How do you say your name?
What?
How do you say your name? I don't know if I'm saying it the right way. What is your name?
Yangsini.
Yangsini. Okay. Yangsini. And where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Really? You live in Italy?
Yes.
All right. What part of Italy?
I'm now studying in Milan.
Uh-huh.
But before I live in Florence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. in the last class we had Nicola from Florence.
Oh, okay.
But your background is Asian, right?
Yes, I'm Chinese.
Chinese, okay. Have you always lived in Italy?
Yeah, since I was a child.
Oh, okay, wonderful. You like Italy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Good weather?
It's better than China.
Yeah.
China is too hot.
Too hot. Okay.
Yeah.
In Italy, you have more. Well, you have some cold weather, some hot weather, some snow. Do you get snow in Milan?
A little.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, everybody, let's go to the reading. We just took up 15 minutes doing that, but that's okay. This article is not too long. The way that I like to do the reading is I will highlight. So this means highlight when you do that. That's highlighting. And I will read. So when I'm reading, the reason why I am reading is just for people to listen and to listen especially to the way that I pronounce the words. And then I will call on one of you to read it, and I will want you to read the same thing that I just read. And then we'll go through some vocabulary, make sure that we're understanding what the article is about. And then if we have time, which I think we're going to, we'll discuss the article a little bit. So as we're reading, it might bring up some things for you, things we can think about and also relate to our own lives. And so that's how it goes. If you have any questions during the class while we're reading, you can go ahead and interrupt me and just ask me if you don't know what something means. You can also write in the Verbling chat. Sometimes I get behind a little bit, so I don't read everything. But other people are more experienced in Verbling, and they can also answer your questions sometimes. So that's also helpful. I see that Tan was helping Sarah figure out how to get into the class. Just for those people who are still new, Verbling is free, and we have classes every hour. But one of the fact is that only 9 people can come into a Google Hangout class. So it's not like we can have 500 people here. So you have to come on time, and if you don't get in, then you can still watch. And sometimes people drop out because they need to go do something else or they lose their connection. So you can maybe get in later. It's nice, though, if you can come and stay the whole time. Then we can all get to know each other a little bit, and you can do the whole class. So anyways, I'm going to start. Like I said, this article is from a blog from an author who wrote a book. It's called The Talent. What he likes to do is he likes to research people who are very successful, let's say, very successful in whatever field they're in, whether it's sports, music, if they're musicians, business, different types of skills that people have, and he studies how these people get so good at what they're doing. So he studies, a lot of times people think that you're just born good at something, and he argues in his book that that's not necessarily true, that actually it takes a lot of hard work, and there are very specific ways that you can practice and learn things that will help you become more successful. And that's what these people who are highly successful do. And so he studies people who are really successful in whatever they're doing. So the reason why I like to choose some of his articles sometimes to read is because I think it is relevant to learning languages. So if you're learning English or any other language, some of these practicing, these ideas about practice and how to practice, when to practice, what to do, can help you use your time better so that you can learn more deeply and learn more quickly sometimes. So, all right, so the title is When's the Most Important Time to Practice? Not when you think. So I'll just highlight that. Question: when's the most important time to practice? At first glance, the answer is easy. Just before the big game or performance. After all, that's when we can dial in our skills, tune up, fully prepare. Okay, Aichu, want to read that? Aisha? Aishu? I think your microphone might be muted because I don't hear you if you're talking. Aishu, are you there? Okay, Miguel.
Yes, teacher.
Go ahead and read that part that's highlighted that I just read.
When's the most important time to practice? Not when you think. Question. Where's the most important time to practice? At first glance, the answer is easy. Just before the or performance. After all,
Please, I
that
don't know if you
we can
can
be
hear
added
me.
in our skills
I can hear
to
you,
not
but I'm
only
saying that you asked me to read. I'm going to read. So, question: When's the
Aishu?
most important time to practice?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
At first glance, the answer is easy. Just before the big
Okay,
game of
maybe she can't hear me. Hold on, I'm going to mute her first. Okay, sorry, Aishu, I didn't hear you, so I asked Miguel to read, so you can read next. But maybe you have to let me know whether or not you can hear me. Okay, so did you finish, Miguel? We can dial in our...
Lisa, I can hear you, but I'm saying in the chat that you asked me to read.
Yes, but then I didn't hear you, and so I had Miguel read first. So now I will read, and then you can read after me. Did you hear that? Aisha? That's weird. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so let's go over this a little bit. So whenever you say at first glance, that means like when you first think about something or when you first see it. So a glance is like when you look over at something and you just take a quick look at it. So at first glance means when you first think about something. You might think that that's an easy answer, right? You should practice right before you're going to have a big game or a big performance. But he says, after all, so that means like, of course, like after all, that's when we can dial in our skills. So that's an expression. To dial in something is to make sure it happens really good. You dial in, it means you're ready to go. And you can tune up. That's another expression, a phrasal verb there. To get ready, when you tune up something, you're getting ready. And fully prepare. Okay, this next paragraph here. Second question, then why do so many top performers do just the opposite? Why do they have their most intense and productive practice just after their performance? Okay, Aisha, you want to read? Maybe you have like some delay or something. Hamid, why don't you read?
Okay. Second question. Then why do so many top performers do just the opposite? Why do they have their most intense and productive practice just after their performance?
So that's kind of what people would think, what we say is counterintuitive. If something is up here so everybody can see, counterintuitive, something that doesn't really make sense when you think about it. Your intuition might tell you that you should practice a lot more right before you do something. But what he's saying is that top performers, so that means highly skilled people, they do just the opposite. They practice after their performance. So let's figure out why they do that. Let me break this up a little bit here. Pro golfers are perhaps most well known for using this method. After a competitive round, many make a beeline for the driving range. but entertainers do it too. Beyonce has a habit of reviewing each night's performance on DVD after the show in order to spot things she needs to work on. Okay, Jose?
Let me see. Pro golfers are perhaps most well known for using this method. After a competitive round, many make a beeline for the driving range, but
Sorry, I made a bigger.
but entertainers do it. too. Beyonce has a habit of reviewing each night's performance on DVD after the show in order to spot things she needs to work on.
Yeah. Okay.
What is a beeline?
Yeah, I'll go over it. So he's saying that pro is short for professional golfers. They use this method. So a method is some kind of strategy or practice that you do. And so they say that after they have a competitive round or a game, let's just say, they make a beeline. So that's an expression, and that means straight to do something. So you make a beeline means you go right to doing it. So they make a beeline for the driving range. So if you're a golfer, one of the ways that you practice is by hitting the golf ball many, many times, and you do that at a driving range. So the driving range allows you to hit the ball very far. So sometimes a lot of golf courses, they have a driving range right next to the golf course, and it's just a place where you can go practice hitting the ball. I'm going to put a picture, screen share, just so you guys can see. Usually it looks something like this, where one person goes and they put their tee down here and their ball, and they just practice over and over again hitting the balls. And they can use different clubs. So sometimes you might want to practice with your, what we call woods, and then sometimes you practice with your irons. And it's just a way to practice. So that's where they go. So as soon as they finish a game, that's where they go. They make a beeline for the driving range. That means they. But he's also saying that entertainers, so that would be like musicians, dancers, singers, things like that, they also do this. So Beyonce, you guys familiar with Beyonce? She's a singer.
Yes.
Dancer, yes. She's
No.
very popular. No. She has a habit. So if you have a habit, that means you do it all the time. You do it often. And she goes and she performs, and then she goes to her hotel room probably and pops in a DVD, and she watches it. So why is she watching it? What is she trying to find out?
Excuse me, Lisa.
Yes?
Can you write in the chat the meaning of makeup beeline?
Yes?
Thank you.
She's trying to find things that she needs to work on.
Yeah, make a beeline. You go straight somewhere. It means if you make a beeline, so for example, I could, if a bunch of kids walk into a restaurant, for example, and let's just say in the United States, okay, it mutes me when I write now. So we have Chinese buffet, for example. And the Chinese buffet, say you walk into the Chinese buffet restaurant and you make a beeline for the crab. That means you go straight to the crab and you want to eat crab, for example. So if you make a beeline for something, that means you go straight there. Or yeah, Tan, you can make a beeline for the lobster. That means Tan wants to go straight to where they have the lobsters and eat lobster first. Sometimes in a buffet, some kids, they go straight for the desserts. So maybe the ice cream or the cakes or something like that. So it just means that you go straight there. You don't go somewhere else first. That's the first place that you go. So here it says that Beyonce does this because she's looking for something that she needs to improve, right? Something to work on. So to work on means to improve. If you are, so Tan, you answered that question. If you're working on something in particular or specific in English, for example, that means you're trying to improve something. Some people are working on their writing skills. Some people are working on their speaking skills. Some people are working on test-taking skills so that they can take certain English tests, for example. One way of working on test-taking skills is the time, of course, learning how to read more quickly or write more quickly, things like that. Okay? All right. So, did you guys read that already? I forgot now that I've talked so much. Did somebody read Pro Golfers? I didn't. Oh, I think Jose did. Okay. Tan, you're next. Hold on here. Legendary hockey coach Herb Brooks was known for holding practice sessions after games as well. Same with a number of surgeons I've researched. I know a politician who, after going on television, immediately watches a tape of the interview and tries to improve his delivery. Okay, Tan?
Legendary hockey coach Herb Brooks was known for holding practice sessions after games as well. Same with a number of surgeons I've researched. I know a politician who, after going on television, immediately watches a tape of the interview and tries to improve his delivery.
Yep. So basically he's just giving you some more examples of different types, or people who are in different types of fields, different types of things that they do, and they're doing all the same things. So this guy's playing hockey. So I know hockey is a sport. It's famous in like Canada, for example. They play a lot of hockey. You hit the puck across the ice. So he is known for, so when somebody is known for, that means everybody knows that he does this, holding practice or having, holding is just another word for like having practice sessions after the game. So this is the main thing that he's talking about in this article, that people really want to practice after the game. And the reason why is because they're trying to figure out how they can improve. What do they need to work on? So you can imagine a surgeon doing a surgery, for example. Maybe he's putting a knee in, or a hip replacement, or something like that, or heart surgery or something. And later he wants to review, but if he waits a couple of days, he's going to forget. So it's more important that he reviews it right after the surgery. And a politician who goes on TV, he immediately, so that means right afterwards, watches a tape of the interview to improve his delivery. The delivery in this case means how he says things. So when you're being interviewed, you might be nervous and you want to say things very clearly, and you want to speak clearly. So he's going to watch the tape and see, oh, I could have said that better. So his delivery is how he says things. Okay? He says here, they're all doing the same thing, and it works for two simple reasons. One, clarity. There's no better time for knowing what works and what doesn't than the first hour after, oops, I'm going to take that out, after a performance or game, when it's still vivid in your memory. Okay, who's up now? After Tan, we have Tatiana.
Okay. They are all doing the same thing, and it works for two simple reasons. One, clarity. There is no better time for knowing what works and what doesn't than the first hour after a performance or game, when it's still vivid in your memory.
Mm-hmm. Good. So clarity.
Clarity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clarity. You might not know that. When something is clear to you, so when you see it clearly or you understand something better, and there's no better time. So that's an expression that we use a lot. It just means like now is a good time. There's no better time for knowing what works and what doesn't than the first hour after. So he's saying that, you know, pretty much that's when you're going to remember what happened. It's still vivid in your memory. So when something is vivid, it means that it's very much clear to you. It's very clear. You still have a really good memory of it, because as you probably experience, after a couple of hours after you finish doing something, you start forgetting. So you don't always remember how you said things or how you did things. So it's really important to just try to remember as much as you can right after you do it. Okay? So next one is you can feel what you did right and what you need to work on. So that's part of that other part. Number 2, I'm just making it enough for everybody to read. So you can feel what you did right and what you need to work on. That's when you do it right afterwards. And number 2 is the emotional content. Games and performances hinge on the skill of navigating emotions and pressure. Okay, Yasin.
Yes, teacher, I'm here. You can feel what you did right and what you need to work on. Number 2, emotional content. Games and performances hinge on the skills of navigation, emotions, and pressure.
Yeah. So this goes with the first one of clarity. So you just have to figure out what did you do right, what did you do wrong, could you do better, what do you need to work on. The emotional content, that means like how you feel. Your emotions are, so if you're playing a game, did you get upset? Did you get frustrated? Did you get overwhelmed? Were you excited? So a lot of times when you're playing a game or when you're having a performance, your emotions come up, and we can say that it hinges on, so these things hinge on, means they make a difference. So if you got upset and you got overwhelmed or you got scared, that makes a difference in how you performed, in what you did. So games and performances hinge on the skill, so it's a skill, navigating emotions and pressure. So as you can imagine, people who are singing in front of tens of thousands of people, if they come out and they're very scared or they're very nervous, then they're probably not going to do as well as if they come out a little bit nervous but maybe more confident and excited. So people can look at, you know, how did I feel? How did I feel when I was performing, when I played that tennis game, or when I did the surgery or something, and how did it affect the outcome? Post-game practice lets you relive pressurized situations with the kind of realism you can never match in cold practice. As Nicholas said, I always achieve my most productive practice after an actual round. All right, post-game, so that's after the game. Okay, Yangsini.
Yes, teacher.
Oh wait, no.
Post-game.
Yasin, you just read, didn't you? Yeah, I said. Sorry, I said Yangsini. You guys are kind of the same. Yasin, Yangsini.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yangsini.
Sorry, teacher.
Okay, Yangsini. You can read that part right there. Post-game practice. You see it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Post-stage practice lets you relive pressurized situation with the kind of realism you can never match in cold practice. As Nicholas said, I always achieve my most productive practice after an actual round.
Yes. Okay, good. So post-game practice, that means practicing after the game, it lets you relive. Relive means you can be in the same situation. A lot of times when you're just going to practice and you're just playing around and you know you're playing basketball maybe or soccer or you're playing a musical instrument, That's practicing, but it's hard to really make it the same pressurized situation. So when you're having to actually perform or play a game, there's a lot more pressure, and things are happening much more quickly, and it's much more important than when you are just practicing. Just like in a situation right now, for example, in class, we're just practicing, but when you go to take the real test, or when you go to speak English on your job or something like that, that becomes a more pressurized situation. That means there's more tension, more nervousness, more things that can happen. Right now in class, maybe you can be more relaxed, for example. So yeah, so that's what you can do right after you have that type of experience. Then you can practice in that type of a situation. It's more real. It's more, it has a kind of realism. That means it's more real, that's all. And you can never match. That's an expression, match in cold practice. So you just can't really get that same level of pressure or tension or importance when you're just practicing. That's what they're talking about, as compared to when you're actually performing a concert, maybe in front of a lot of people, or when you're actually doing the surgery on somebody and trying to save their life, or something like that. So he always, he says, I always achieve my most productive. So when you're productive, that means you're getting things done, and it's a good practice. Whereas a non-productive would be like you didn't really get very much done. Okay? Then the mistakes are fresh in my mind, and I can go to the practice tee and work specifically on those mistakes. So here he is talking about golf practice, so he can go there again. For most of us, the main barrier to using this technique is force of habit. Okay, Aisha, is your microphone working now?
Yes.
Okay, great. You can read that.
The part you...
Can you see it on my screen? It says, then the mistakes...
yeah, I see.
Okay.
Then the mistakes are fresh in my mind, and I can go to the practice tee and work specially on those mistakes. For most of us, the main barrier to using these techniques is force of habit.
Okay, this is a English expression here. When something is in your mind, it means you're still remembering it. So right after the game, he thinks about, oh, these mistakes I made, they're fresh in his mind. He remembers them, and so then he can go over to the driving range and practice. He the specific strokes, or the specific. So this word is specific. So he wants to focus on the things that he did wrong, and he wants to practice those so that the next time he will not make the same mistakes. And so,
can you repeat the word again, please?
Specifically.
Specifically. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
That's right. Good. So the author is telling us that for most of us, the main barrier, so a barrier, word for barrier would be obstacle, something that keeps us from doing something that might be good for us, maybe. So the main barrier to using this technique is force of habit. So force of habit just means we have habits where we don't think about this. Sometimes, you know, you can imagine after your soccer game, you're tired, you just want to go home, maybe you want to take a shower, take a rest or something like that. But what he's saying is that might be a good time to go and actually work on some of your things that you want to improve on. After games and performances, we take a relieved breath and shift into relaxation mode. That's not a bad thing, but carving out a few minutes to do a clear-eyed review, what exactly worked and what exactly didn't, is better. Okay, Danielle, you joined us. Daniel, want to read? If you're talking, your microphone might be muted because I don't hear you. Daniel? Okay, Miguel.
Yes, teacher. After games and performance, we take a relief breath and shift into relaxation mode. That's not a bad thing, but carving out a few minutes to do a clear-eyed review, what exactly worked and what exactly didn't. It's better.
Yeah. So he's kind of saying what I said, like relieved. Whenever you feel relieved, you feel like, oh, I'm glad that's over with. So you feel relaxed. So after maybe you just performed in a musical concert, or you sang, or you did something, and when you're done, you can just take a breath and go, ah, that was fun, or that was good. And maybe you want to shift. That means move into relaxation mode. So whenever you're in relaxation mode, that means you are just wanting to relax. You want to take, maybe you want to just go have some lunch, or do something fun and just relax, because you just were in a very pressurized situation where a lot of people were watching you, for example. He said that's not a bad thing. Of course, everybody wants to do that, but carving out. So carving out is a phrasal. This means carving means cutting. So you want to cut out, or basically just take. It means take a few minutes to do a clear-eyed review. So clear-eyed is emphasizing that you want to have that clarity. You want to look at something really closely and just review the game, review your performance, what worked, what didn't, what could you do better next time, okay? All right, we're done with the article. So now I want to go back to the top. We have about 14 minutes left, and I want to make sure everybody understood what's going on in the article. So, Hamid, tell us what the article is basically saying. What's the main idea of the article?
I think importance of practice, and it depends on the time, and it gives maybe good things, moral for your life, and some samples mentions the passage. For example, the golf.
Yes.
Like this.
So, Jose, when is it a good time to practice? What did he say in his article? When is it a good time to practice? Jose, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
So, in the article we just read, he's talking about when is a good time to practice. What does he think is a good time to practice?
Before the game or performance.
Nope, not before. He says here that you might think that would be the easy answer. But actually, what a lot of top performers or people who are very successful are doing is they are practicing just after. So just after means right after. Right after they do something, they go and practice. So Tan, why do they practice right after their performance?
Because can I take Beyonce example?
Sure. Yeah, you can give any example you want.
Because you can see what you did right or wrong, what you remembered from the performance you just did, so you can work on it.
Yeah, exactly. So Tan, I know that you like to sing. Do you do performances?
Yes.
And have you ever reviewed the performance right after you finish?
Not right after, but probably a few days later. Yeah.
And is it hard to remember, or do you remember?
Yes, I can remember. It doesn't have to be right after. Like, if it's like a few days later, you still remember it.
Tatiana.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you agree that it's okay to just wait a couple of days, or do you agree with the person who wrote the article that
I agree with the personal, because I need to know directly what I did wrong and what was good. Because I have vivid in my memory, and I still remember what happened.
Yeah.
I think it's really great.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do anything like that, Tatiana, like performing something or playing an instrument, or would you have an example in your own life of where you're learning something and then you do it and then you want to review really quickly afterwards?
Well, for example, when I trying to practice my English pronunciation, yes, here on Verbling, after the lesson, I open recorded lesson and listened again and trying to hear myself what said I wrongly and repeat.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah, that's what I was interested in talking about, actually, about this article, is how could we use these ideas to help improve our English skills. So that's one way that would work, especially... Hold on. I'm going to mute him. Okay. So that's a great idea, Tatiana. Tan, do you do that too, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah? You watch the recording of the videos you were in, of the classes you were in?
Yeah, and then like watch the part where I read or I talk, so I can see my pronunciation and stuff.
Yeah, great. Do you usually do that like the same day you do the class or just later sometime?
This one's right after.
Oh, okay.
Right after they have the record video.
Great. Yeah, good. Youngsini, what do you think about the article? Do you think that it's a good idea to practice right after you do something to try to find out how you can improve?
I think yes.
I'm wondering, Youngsini, you said that you are studying in Milan? What are you studying?
Excuse me.
I'm studying design.
Design,
Interior design.
What kind of design?
Interior
Excuse me.
design.
Hi, Orsef. Hi there.
Hello.
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 Yes.
Yeah, where do I find the article?
Here's the link.
I just logged in.
Yeah. We already finished.
Okay, thank you.
And now we're talking about it. So you can listen to us talk, okay? And then I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Okay, so Youngsini, do you have tests and things like that that you have to do for your classes? Or projects maybe or something?
Yeah, sometimes the project. After lesson, we have talk.
Oh, okay.
And yes, we think about the project.
So you have a review? You have a review? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Do you find that that is helpful to improve?
Yes.
Good. What about for learning English? Do you like the idea of reviewing right after maybe you have a class or something and listening to how you spoke or how you answered questions?
Yes, because the day after I just forgot everything.
Yeah, yeah. Hamid?
Yes.
So I'm wondering, since you work with a team of chemists and people doing studies, is this something that you guys do to review? Maybe you guys tried an experiment or something and then right afterwards, do you review it to find out what happened, what worked or what didn't work, and how you can improve it next time?
Of course, we can try some experiments more and more.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for example, when we see good results, it is not very well because we want to repeatable.
Oh,
So my master work is very hard for this because the reason is repeatable.
Yeah.
And if the results are good, it is a good fortune to be paper.
Yeah.
Scientific paper.
Right.
And chemist's main objective is the reputable, to review something.
Yeah. So I wrote in the chat, we say that you want to have replicable results. That means you want to be able to replicate is the verb that means you want the same thing to happen again. Is that right?
Yes, again and again.
Yeah, again and again. So you know that it's true, that that's how it works, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's called replicable. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Okay, Aisha, how about you? Do you have any opinions about the idea of when to practice? Is it a good idea to practice right after you do something so that you can find out what you did right, what you did wrong?
I think it's better if you review what you just done after.
Mm-hmm.
You did it because your performance is fresh in your memory, and you can make the adjustment, the right adjustment just after.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to make it, to say it. You can make adjustments. So I was thinking about that for how you guys could use this for English. And Tan and Tatiana, you guys had a great idea. And that's one of the cool things about Verbling is that because these classes are recorded, you get to hear yourself. So you can listen to me, but more importantly for your own learning is to listen to yourself and to say, oh yeah, I made a mistake there, or you know, I could have pronounced it this way, or I could have answered the question a different way, and then that way you can keep improving. So that's what I like about when I do the writing classes too. I know that some people go back and they actually look at the corrections that I made to their writing, and then that way it's really fresh in their mind because they remember what they typed first and what they how they thought it was said, and then they look at how I made the corrections, and then they can learn that way rather than just writing and getting corrected and then going on to the next thing and not really reviewing it. So I think for improving your English, it's a really good idea to review. So like, you know, what did you say? What could you say next time? Miguel, do you have any examples in your life of practicing right after doing something? Like, I don't know, do you do sports or do you do performances or anything?
In my case, I think it's a good idea after one job interview.
Oh, yeah, good idea, yeah.
Yes, because the article said you are more, after the interview, you could be more relaxing. You can analyze different things you did wrong.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I know a lot of people who are here on Verbling are practicing their English so that they can try to get a better job maybe or study abroad. So that's a really good idea also for when you go and you take a test or you do a job interview or something like that, to right afterwards think about it and review in your mind, you know, what did I say? How could I have said that better? So that the next time you do that, you'll have a better chance. Hey, Hamid, that makes me I'm sorry, let me finish my thought. A better chance of improving is what I meant. Hamid, that makes me... Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it just made me think, we only have a minute here, but I was thinking, like when you give your presentation of your poster at the Congress, then right afterwards you'll probably be able to review it with your team and to talk about, you know, what worked or how did the audience understand you, or, you know, that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, definitely. And I want to say I use another method for writing section. I copy paste my first writing, and after you're ordering writing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I can compare my abilities.
Yes, great. Yeah, anytime you have a chance to compare what you did and then how it got corrected and then review that in your mind, then that's really helpful. So you guys had some good ideas. I like that. I'm glad we got to talk about this idea, because I think that's you know, provided some good ideas for us, especially Tatiana and Tan. Thanks for sharing your strategy or your method for helping work on your English. That's really a great idea. Okay.
Thank you for your lesson.
Yeah, sure. Does anybody have anything they want to say before we end the class? Anything?
Lisa, I added you on Facebook. Can you check it?
Okay, I will. All right, guys. Thanks again for coming to class and participating. It's fun to have class with you guys. Okay, I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, see you.
Okay,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yes?
See you.
Ders bitti. Ay çok üzüldüm.
Lisa,
Yes?
hello.
Hello?
What are you doing, Lisa?
I'm finishing the class.
Oh, very good.
What are you doing?
I am computer play game.
You're playing games on the computer.
For plan.
Okay.
Point blank.
Point blank.
Point blank. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll talk to you again another time then. I gotta go.
Gidiyorum diyor.
I gotta go. Bye bye.
See you later.